Hi guys! Happy 1 year anniversary to my channel! A year ago, I decided that I wanted to start making ASMR videos. I had discovered them, I think about a year and a half prior to making my channel. I've had ASMR though since long before that, so yeah, this is my 1 year anniversary Q&A video. I apologize if you hear any sounds around. My cat has been meowing and my dishwasher is running, so this is kind of sort of an ASMR video. It's gonna be kind of soft-spoken. You might find it relaxing, but it's not necessarily intentionally going to be ASMR. I recently got my hair cut, and at first I really liked it, and as the days have gone on I'm starting to like it less, but it's not a big deal. My hair grows fast and it's just hair, so I can work with it, but it's not exactly what I asked for. But anyway, so I have all my questions on my phone that I'm going to be reading. I didn't write down the people that asked me the questions, so I apologize. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. And the first question that I get pretty much asked all the time, especially on a few certain videos, is how old am I? And if you've been around for a while, I have actually talked about how old I am. So it's something I've never hidden. I am 25. I was born February 5th, 1991. So I'm 25. I will be 26 in just a few months. Yes, I do realize that I sound young. I also look very young. I am often mistaken for being a teenager, which is kind of annoying because I would at least like to look somewhat my age. My fiance, who is 26, is he will get comments from people from time to time about how young I look, and they often think that he's his age, 26 or right around there, and I'm like a teenager. So yes, I realize I do sound really young. I've always been mistaken for being younger than I actually am. My grandmother used to play on that when I was a kid, in as far as getting me like into the fair at the children's price, because I looked like I was young enough to be the age that I needed to be. When I was getting ready to start high school, my best friend and I decided to go to volleyball camp that summer. We'd done basketball camp before, but this summer we decided to do volleyball camp. And there was a day where some elementary school kids were coming to have their own volleyball camp, but with all of us. And we were supposed to all team up with an elementary school kid, and I was the last one to get a kid, and one of the high schoolers, I mean technically I was going to be in high school, but one of the older girls even than me at that point that was helping lead the camp thought that I was an elementary school kid and was going to try and assist us, and I had to explain to her that I was 14 years old. So it does get really annoying when I see people constantly comment on my videos asking how old I am and that I sound like I'm so young, but I'm not. I'm actually generally a decade older than what people assume that I am. So yeah, there you go. That's fun. My next question is, why don't I show my face? The biggest reason is just that there are very few people around me that understand what ASMR is, and yes, I do realize that a few of my videos can be misconstrued as sexual, and I don't care That's not what they're intended for, but people will take them that way. I don't give a shit. Stop commenting about it. It doesn't fucking matter. But there are people that are close to me that don't understand ASMR and would probably take it the same way and question what I'm doing. So I mostly do it because I don't know how the people around me would react, and I don't want it to be a thing. I'd rather just keep it to myself. So currently, yes, I don't like to show my face. Though that's not the only reason, but that's like the biggest reason. My fiance knows that I have a channel, and he gets it. A couple other people I've talked to about it, but mostly anybody else, if I try and bring it up, they don't understand or really care. So I just, it's kind of like my own little private thing I keep to myself, and I just would like to keep it that way for a while, Eventually I may reveal my face if I stop caring about it, but right now that's just what my intention is just to keep my face hidden, so. And I ask that you respect that. Okay, how did I get into ASMR? I have experienced ASMR. I've actually talked about this before in another video, but I have experienced ASMR since I was a little kid. I can remember being, in elementary school, having sleepovers with friends, and as stereotypical little girls do, we would, do each other's hair and stuff like that. And I always remember that whenever one of my friends was playing with my hair, I always had this really good feeling, and it was something I couldn't explain. And as I got older and I started watching YouTube, I came across the videos that weren't ASMR videos at all, but I came across these videos and I got the same feeling. I didn't understand why or what it was. I really just thought that I was a freak and that I felt this really, it was a great experience, but I never heard of anybody else ever talking about it. So yeah, I have always had ASMR for as long as I can remember, but it wasn't until a couple years ago that I had stumbled across a video that had ASMR in the title. I was looking for hair videos. Specifically, I had kind of figured out that watching somebody do their hair or whatever had an effect on me. It doesn't that much now, but back then it did, and I was trying to find a video of maybe more of that, and I came across ALB in Wonderland, or excuse me, Whisperland is her ASMR channel. ALB in Whisperland. I came across her channel, and she had an ASMR video of her playing with somebody's hair. And I was like, what is ASMR? What does that stand for? So I Googled it and discovered that there's a whole community of people just like me that have the same experience, and that was totally mind-blowing to me, and I was so excited that I was going around. I Googled or YouTubed any ASMR videos I could find, and originally, the whispers and stuff like that I thought were kind of odd, but, eventually I figured it out and got over that and thought it was really cool and calming, and I was telling my mom and my fiance and just all of these people, like, hey, guess what? I figured out what this is that I've had all my life that I thought I was totally weird for. So, yeah, that's how I got into ASMR. I started watching videos and I thought, I really want to make videos too. Maybe I can bring something else to the table and help people and just make really cool videos. So, yeah, that's how I got into it. Next question. What's my personal trigger? When I first started watching ASMR videos, it was crinkly plastic, and then it got into like lid opening, and then it turned into mouth sounds, and that's still like my biggest trigger, but I find it harder to find videos that trigger my ASMR that I know a lot of people like the really clear, crisp microphones for mouth sounds, but I personally don't. So it's really hard for me to find videos that are mouth sounds that actually work for me, because I don't like the mouth sounds on a 3DO mic or other mics like that. So what is my passion? There are 3 things in my life that I am passionate about and want to accomplish. The first thing is that I want to be a singer. I've been singing since I was 3, and it is all I have ever wanted to do, and I still feel that way. Eventually I plan to move to California, but that is my biggest passion. I love to sing. I do it all the time, every day. I love it. My second passion is to travel. I've pretty much been mostly in the Midwest my entire life. So I've been to, surrounding states around me, and I've been to Florida, and I've been over to Washington, which I made a video about. But otherwise, I would like to go to all 50 states. I want to travel the world and go see amazing things. And yeah, that's another passion, is to travel. And then my third passion is to help people. I've always had this need to want to help people and do things for people, especially in their time of need. So it's been quite a struggle for me that I'm not at that point, and that I, in fact, am the one that needs help sometimes. That's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I would rather be the one helping than having to get help. So, yeah. And I feel like being a singer would allow me to do all those things. What is my meaning of life? This is going to sound very cliche. It's those 3 things that give me my passion, my drive for what I do. But my ultimate goal is just to be happy. I'm a pretty unhappy person generally, but I try to be optimistic and happy and positive, which is really difficult. And when I'm by myself and my mind runs its course, I'm a pretty unhappy person. So I would like to be able to just be happy and not overthink things, not have to worry about things, and just be able to enjoy living. Do I meditate? No, I do not. I've never really considered it, and I don't know, maybe I will in the future, but it's not something I've ever thought about. Do I believe in soulmates? I don't know. It's not impossible, but it seems awfully hard, or I wouldn't say hard, but it seems awfully unlikely that out of, billions and billions of people in the world, that there's only one person that's supposed to be your soulmate. So I think it's possible, I guess, but I think it's unlikely at the same time. That probably makes no sense. What is the home of my dreams? Oh gosh. So when I was growing up, I always thought that I would have 3 houses. One in Iowa, because that's where I'm from. One in Wisconsin, because I used to live in Wisconsin for a year or 2 when I was an infant. And then one in Europe or something. I don't think I would do that now that I'm older. But I always wanted a log cabin. I don't necessarily need a mansion, but I would like, a decent sized home. I've always wanted, my dream home would always have a recording studio, and just an all-over music room. I'd love to have a small game room. I'd love to have a pool, a big backyard. you know, 2-car garage. I don't need a lot of cars. Even though I want a lot of cars, I don't need them. Yeah, a couple extra bedrooms, a few different bathrooms, a nice open kitchen, and a nice kind of open living room. Yeah, I guess that would pretty much be it. I've always imagined like I wanted a huge yard that was like in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, when the woman, I can't remember her name, starts singing a song and she's like in this big yard and there's a swing set and stuff. I always imagined that I would have a yard like that. Probably not. I'd like to have a gazebo in my backyard, but and a swing. I love swings. Do I like to do ASMR? Yes, obviously. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing it. But I do really enjoy it. I love to do it. I love getting comments from you guys, and you know, even if I didn't get comments or views, I really enjoy making them. So, and I'm glad that so many of you liked it. So, yeah, I love making ASMR. Do I have a cat? Yes, I do. She's featured a couple times in my videos. There's some bloopers somewhere further back a little bit. But yeah, she's adorable. She's my last kitty cat that I have, my last pet. When I was like 6, we got a dog, a yellow Labrador Retriever. His name was Boone. And then when I was in, I think 4th grade, we adopted a stray cat on Halloween. She was a black cat. Her name was Fluffy. And then we adopted another stray cat, and he was also black. And I named him Buddy. And then some events happened, but then we wound up getting this other cat. His name was Swizzy. We adopted another stray cat named Henry, and he was like blonde. Mind you, all of them lived here at the same time, so I had one dog and, let's see, 4 cats at that point. And then my dog Boone passed away when I was 16, 17, I think 17, which was really sad. And then my mom's boyfriend at the time decided just a few months later that he wanted another dog and didn't tell my mom about it. So I didn't realize kind of the backstory to this, but I went with him to go and get another dog. So then we got a black Labrador Retriever, and his name was Sunny. We got him when I was 17, and then my senior year we got another cat, and her name is Sasha, and she's the one that I still have. Let's see, Swizzy passed away first. After Boone passed away, Swizzy passed away, and then Henry passed away. They were both really sick, which was really, really hard and sad. I'm a big animal lover, so it was really difficult for me. And then my cat, Buddy, a few years ago got feline diabetes, and so I had to give him insulin shots every day. And unfortunately, you can only monitor that stuff so much to a degree, and I really tried to be optimistic, but he wound up getting really sick, and there wasn't really anything we could do, so we had to put him down. And actually Fluffy, we had to put her down before, 6 months before we had to put Buddy down, because she was just really old and struggling. So yeah, and then so we had to put her down, and then we had to put Buddy down, and then not this last January, but the January before, 2015, we had to put Sunny down because he developed a brain tumor. So this turned into a really depressing answer, but yeah, so, and now I have my cat Sasha left. She's the only one I have left. and she is my fur baby, and I'm extremely paranoid and like overly protective about her to a fault. But it is what it is. So, and unfortunately what'll probably happen is after she's gone, I'll probably hold off on getting any more animals for a while. I will eventually, but I think I'll probably hold off for a while just because I hate to leave them alone, and there's so many things that I want to do that I want to go and be able to like do stuff and not have to worry too much about, you know, having to find a place either for them to stay while I'm away, or somebody to watch them, or, you know, leave them alone. Like, they deserve all the love and attention they can have. So, but for now, you know, she's my little cuddle bug. Do I have an Instagram? I get this question quite often. For this channel, I do not have an Instagram. I have a personal Instagram that I don't really even post that much to, but I get a lot of questions about if I have an Instagram, and so that leads me to ask, like, should I create an Instagram for this channel? I mean, I post to my Twitter pretty often, but I don't really post pictures that often, so I don't know that it would really be worthwhile. But I guess let me know in the comments if you guys would like for me to make an Instagram for this channel. Yeah, because I get asked that a lot. Cats or dogs? Both. I can't choose. I love both. I love all animals. If I could, I would just take in every stray animal possible and give them all the love and food and warmth and everything that they could ever ask for. Where am I from? I am from Des Moines, Iowa. I was born here. I've lived here pretty much my whole life, like I said a couple questions ago. I did live in Wisconsin for like a year or two when I was an infant, but then my mom and I moved back when my parents got divorced. And then my dad moved back not long after, so that way he could still see me. So yeah, I've pretty much lived here my entire life. So it's going to be interesting when I move. Where do I record my ASMR? I record in my room, in my house. It's not the greatest setup, and it's kind of difficult at times because there's a gnat in my room. Because there's stuff that I want to do, certain videos I want to record, but I don't really have the ability here. So my fiance has said that I could record at his place too if I wanted, but it's kind of difficult to figure out how to do that because his parents don't understand ASMR either, and in order to get it quiet enough so that I could actually record anything would be a struggle. So yeah, we'll see. What's my real name? You are bold for asking this question, considering that I keep my face hidden. I'm not going to tell you what my real name is. You may eventually figure it out, and if you do, kudos to you. I will tell you that it starts with a C, and go from there. Which of my videos was the most fun to make? Ooh, that's difficult because I like all of my videos. Not to sound cocky. I really enjoyed making my makeup roleplay video that I did recently. That was pretty fun. I'm probably going to do more roleplays eventually. But I really enjoyed that. But I also really love makeup as well, so that was like a combination of loves. Which video am I most proud of? I'm proud of all of my videos. I wouldn't say that I'm really proud of one more than another. I really, enjoy all of them. I think that they all have their own merit. You can definitely see, I feel, looking back, you can see that I have progressed over time. I've gotten better over the year, I think, and I'd like to continue to get better. Yeah, I don't really have one that I feel most proud of. I mean, I'm pretty proud of my roleplay again, but I'm proud of all of my videos. So, where is my favorite holiday destination? And I'm assuming that holiday you mean vacation. Let's see, my favorite vacation will probably forever and always be Florida. I didn't really go on any vacations as a kid. I grew up pretty poor. I'm still poor, but my parents didn't have the ability to really take me on any vacations. Anytime I went anywhere, it was with my grandparents. But when I was in high school, there was an opportunity to go to Florida, and I really wanted to go, and I was able to go. My grandparents really were very generous and paid for my trip to be able to go, and then I had a bunch of people give me some money to spend while I was gone. But that was probably by far my favorite vacation I've ever gone on. Despite some of the circumstances that I had to deal with while I was there, it was still one of the best things I've ever done, and I really want to go back and take my fiance because he's never been. But we went to so many places, but my favorite place that we went to was definitely Epcot. I love Epcot. It was absolutely amazing. Loved it. Favorite. Hands down. No argument. Although, if I am able to go back to Florida, we're going to Harry Potter World, and that might take the cake. So, what is my favorite season? Fall. Stereotypical white girl? Maybe. But I love fall. I have always loved fall. I love the color of the leaves when they change. I love Halloween. Although I don't like scary stuff, so that sounds kind of strange, but I love Halloween. I love being able to wear sweatshirts. I love football. I will say this, I don't like pumpkin spice lattes, and I don't like Ugg boots or whatever, so, but I don't care if you do. I mean, go ahead. Do what makes you happy. Be comfortable. Kudos to you. But yeah, I don't like that stuff, but I love fall. Fall's my favorite. Do I prefer the sun or the rain? It depends on my mood. If I really just am happy, I love when it's sunny because sunshine really has an effect on your mood, but I also love when it rains. It really, yeah, it depends. It varies. I love both, but it depends on my mood. I hate snow though. I used to love the snow. I hate it when it snows now. I have to look forward to another Iowa winter. Woohoo. What subject am I most interested in? This is kind of hard for me to answer, but I'm assuming you mean I guess, I don't know, maybe school subjects. I loved music. I love math, even though I'm terrible at it. Well, I'm not terrible at it, but I'm not great at it. But I liked math. I loved science. Physics was one of my favorite classes. I like English. I love art. Oh, I love history. Especially Greek history and Egyptian history. Stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I love that stuff. Do I live with anyone or by myself? I do live with a relative. I don't like it. I'm at my wit's end about the whole thing, honestly. It gives me anxiety, and it's really unfortunate and sad to say because it shouldn't be that way, but I really would love to be able to live on my own or for my fiance and I to have a place, but I don't foresee that happening anytime soon, at least until I can get my shit figured out. But yes, I do live with someone. No, I do not like it. Dodge or Chevy? Don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't care. As long as it gets me from point A to point B and does what I need it to do, don't give a shit. Are you pretty? I think I remember who commented this, and I thought it was hilarious. Yes, you are all beautiful. Skyrim or Mass Effect? I've never played Mass Effect, and I've technically never played Skyrim. I have it, I just haven't played it, but I've watched my fiance play it, and he mods the shit out of the game. So I have it on Steam, but I only have a laptop and it's a few years old, so the graphics card isn't that great, and I feel until I have like a legit desktop computer that I can use for gaming, I'm probably gonna hold off on playing it. So but I would still say Skyrim. I love Skyrim, or at least watching my fiance play Skyrim. Am I sad about Harambe? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Yes, first off, to answer, yes, I am sad. I think it was ridiculous what happened. I'm not even going to go on ranting about that scenario. But, oh my goodness. It has become such a thing on the internet that I'm just, like, over it now. My fiance will show me pictures, because we usually will find funny stuff and then show each other what we've seen on the internet. And constantly he shows me stuff that has something to do with Harambe, and oh my gosh, I'm like so over it at this point. It is so ridiculous and just gone too far. But yes, my dick is out for Harambe. What games do I play? I play lots of games. Let's see. Okay. I play lots of games. On my phone, I do like a crossword every day. I play Pokemon Go, obviously. I made a whole video about that. I got a Snorlax recently. That was awesome. Let's see. I kind of go through spurts where I'll play a game for a while and then stop and then like visit it again. But I played Candy Crush, Cut the Rope, Heads Up. I love that game. Plague Inc. I haven't played that in a while. And then I'll find like the logo quiz and stuff like that I'll do every once in a while. I love trivia, so Trivia Crack, things like that, Quiz Up. Yeah, but I haven't really played those for a while. As far as, let's see, other games, on my computer, on my laptop, I like to play Dream Day games, so it'll be like Dream Day Wedding, Dream Day Italian Wedding, or whatever. And I like it only because it's a hidden object game, and I love games like that. I used to go on Pogo all the time and play like Battleship and Checkers and all kinds of stuff on there. Normally at Halloween I would go on there and play Spooky Slots. I think they didn't have it last year though, which really irritated me. I play Sims on my computer sometimes. I know this sounds totally lame, but yeah. And then as far as video games go, let's see. My fiance and I were playing BioShock Infinite recently. I love that game. I love steampunk stuff. So we played BioShock Infinite. We played Kingdom Hearts. Love Kingdom Hearts. What else? Batman. Little Big Planet. What else? Oh, there's quite a few games though. Oh, I have the entire collection of Lara Croft Tomb Raider because I used to play that as a kid with my neighbor. But again, because I don't have a desktop, I don't play it on my laptop. Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment. I know there's various ones. And then for board games, I love Monopoly and Life and Uno and oh, we play Cards Against Humanity all the time. That's a fun game. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and Magic the Gathering. And what's my all-time favorite game? Ooh, gosh. Cards Against Humanity, probably. I'm a pretty fucked up person. What are some of my favorite movies and TV shows? My favorite TV show of all time is The Big Bang Theory. I've said that before. I absolutely love that show. I like SpongeBob. I know, I'm 25, but I grew up with SpongeBob. I just like it. SpongeBob all day, every day. I like classic sitcoms because I watch Nick at Night, so I like watching like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I used to love watching The Cosby Show. I won't even get into that, but I love the television show itself. I Love Lucy, Carol Burnett Show. I loved watching Johnny Carson. I grew up with people that showed me all these things, so I grew up all this stuff and love it. Favorite movie, that's gonna be really hard. I would have to say, I guess, favorite movie overall, Deadpool. Love Deadpool. I was actually not like keen on seeing it in the beginning. The first trailer that I saw of it, I thought it looked too gory, and then I watched a few more of the trailers and was like, okay, I want to see it. And then my fiance and I went and watched it, and it was absolutely hysterical. I loved it. We bought the like collector edition or whatever it was, I don't know, that had the Blu-ray, the DVD, and like the downloadable version. So I told my fiance he could have the Blu-ray and I get the DVD. So I and my best friend and I watch Deadpool all the time. Pretty much any time that we hang out, if we're not going out, we're watching Deadpool. And then the SpongeBob movie, I love the SpongeBob movie. I like musicals, so like Rent, Les Miserables, Grease. I like older movies too, like Caddyshack, Ghostbusters. Yeah. I have a very wide scope of things that I like, so it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint any one thing. Okay, so you may notice that I am wearing a different shirt now. And that noise that you might hear is my cat licking herself, and she'll probably be eating in a couple of moments, so there will be that. But basically, as I was editing my video, I had to edit it in 2 parts because yesterday when I was recording, I stopped almost halfway through because my fiance called me. And the second half that I recorded doesn't want to save, so I have to redo the second half. So here we are. So let's go on and finish the rest of the video. My favorite band, or some of my favorite bands. And my favorite bands, my favorite bands are Breaking Benjamin and Shinedown. And I've seen both of them in concert and I love them. If we wanted to go old school, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. I loved old Britney, Christina Aguilera. There's other artists and bands that I like, but I would say that Breaking Benjamin and Shinedown are my absolute favorites. Who's my favorite superhero? Probably Deadpool. I also like Captain America. I like Iron Man too, but Deadpool is probably my favorite. I also like Batman. My favorite villain is Harley Quinn, but not the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. I can't stand her. I gave that movie a 5 out of 10. I really think they did an absolutely horrible job with Harley Quinn in that movie. Can't stand it. What inspired me to do ASMR? I answered this, I feel, earlier on with the other questions, but basically watching other videos, and that really inspired me because I felt that maybe I could also do it and bring something different, or think of other triggers that maybe haven't been thought of, or do things in a different way that would help people, and I really enjoy it. Do I have a lot of friends? No, I do not. My best friend now, we've known each other for 14 years, and we've been best friends for pretty much ever since we've known each other or met. We have had a rough history of times where we had some falling outs and didn't talk, and in fact there was a good 3-year period where we didn't talk at all and actually reconciled last December and went to go watch Star Wars together. So I do have her, my fiance, some of his friends I do consider to be my friends as well. And then I have other people that I consider acquaintances or friends, but I never really talk to them. I had another friend who lived here I've known since high school. She moved to Washington. She's the one that we went to visit when I went to Washington. But she never keeps in contact with me. She's really bad at keeping in contact with anybody, but she's especially bad at keeping in contact with me. But I expected it because it's common with her. And here's my kitty cat. Look at the camera. Sunshine, look at the camera. Yeah, shoo, baby. She does not care. And then other people that I've talked to or were friends with generally would wind up blowing me off or stop talking to me after a while, which is really irritating, but you know, it happens once you graduate from high school. What are my ambitions? I feel like this has to kind of still go along with what I said before. You know, I want to be a singer, I want to travel, I want to help people, but there's also a lot of other things. I'd like to better myself as a person in general. I would like to learn, there's 3 languages that I wanted to learn and be proficient in: Spanish, French, and Italian. I've taken Spanish and French before. I've learned a little bit of Italian due to singing lessons, but I'm not proficient in them, and I would like to be. And there's other things that I want to do. You know, I have a lot of hobbies that I like to do that I'd like to get back into, but I just never have the time or the space or environment to do it in. But I like to, you know, paint or draw or write. I'd like to get back into practicing piano and guitar. So there's a lot of things that I would like to do. I have a lot of ambitions, and I have a bucket list full of things that I want to do. Even before I knew what a bucket list was, I was making a list of things that I wanted to do before I die. An example of that would be riding in a hot air balloon, going to watch an Olympics somewhere, getting my pilot's license, which is pretty far out there, but yeah, there's a lot of things that I would like to do, so we'll see. What are my plans for my channel? I've never really thought about it before. I've always operated under the idea that I would make videos and try and make different videos and all kinds of things and just continue to upload and, you know, entertain you guys and help you guys. So that's pretty much my whole intention for this channel. I mean, maybe things will change, but I feel like it's pretty direct that, you know, I'll make ASMR videos and upload them for you guys. Do I feel discouraged by negative feedback in videos? No. I don't get discouraged by negative feedback. I like constructive criticism. I think that's worthwhile. A lot of negative things that I see in my comments usually more just piss me off than anything, and if anything, it makes me feel defiant that I'm gonna keep doing that stuff. If you put it in a way that you're a total asshole about it, then I'm gonna do everything I can to piss you off even more. So that's the person that you're watching right now. But I don't get discouraged by negative feedback. It doesn't bother me. It more gets on my nerves after a while, and it frustrates me to see people be so close-minded about things, constantly commenting on specific videos, talking about how this isn't ASMR or whatever. That drives me absolutely crazy, because you think that, you know, the videos that I make aren't ASMR. They absolutely are ASMR. Maybe they don't work for you, but they do work for other people. So don't shame other people for liking those videos because they are ASMR, whether you like it or not. And if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say it. You know, I don't understand why people don't get that concept. What troubles my heart most days? This is a long list. There's a lot of things. I have what's considered a sensitive personality. Now, not sensitive in the case that if you were to insult me, I would be upset about it or mull over it for a long time. No. In fact, if you try to insult me, I will usually laugh at you, or I will be really sarcastic and be like, is that the best that you've got? Like, you can come up with something better than that. It takes a lot to actually insult me and make me feel bad. But I'm sensitive in the sense that I am very sentimental. So, you know, things like for holidays especially, things are not how they used to be when I was growing up, and that's really difficult for me to deal with because it's not the same and it doesn't have the same meaning for me anymore, which is really sad because I enjoy like Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff, but they are not the same how they used to be, and that really bothers me, and I have to learn how to cope with things like that. You know, seeing everything going on in the news bothers me, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that's been going on has been going on for years. It's just that we have easier access to information now, so we see it all the time, and they throw it in your face constantly because it's all about ratings nowadays. It's not about actual news. You know, I guess it's just, I mean, that's kind of a wide description, broad description, but there's a lot of things that bother me, and that's generally why I'm unhappy. I haven't learned how to deal with any of that stuff, really. So I have to figure out how to accept that these things are going on, but also learn how to deal with it. My cat is freaking out right now because she wants back in my room. Do I have any secrets? Absolutely. Of course I do. I can't think of any at the moment, but I definitely have plenty of secrets. And even if I could think of them, I'm not sure that I would share them. So, yeah. Some interesting facts about me. I rarely ever wear matching socks. I haven't been wearing matching socks since high school. The only time I ever do is if it's a certain pair that I like or if it's something specific. I've been singing since I was 3. I think I said that already. I took singing lessons in high school. I used to drive my grandparents' boat all the time as a kid. The first time I ever saw the ocean was when I went to Florida when I was in high school, and the first time I ever saw mountains was when I went to Washington in March. I've never been to a college football game, and I love college football. I'm an only child. I think there were some other things that I was going to say, but I can't remember what they are, so we'll leave it at that. What's my favorite food? Pizza. Hands down. I could eat pizza every day, all the time. I love pizza. Oh my gosh. Favorite drink? Mountain Dew or alcoholic Angry Orchard. That shit's the bomb. Do I have a Patreon? Yes, I do. The link for it is in the description down below. I am not super active on it because I still don't really understand it per se, but I do have a Patreon, so if you're interested, you can click on the link in the description. Do I do covers? I get a lot of comments on my lullaby videos. So yes, I do covers. In fact, I made a video about this a while back. I made a separate channel that is specifically of me singing different songs. So if you want to check it out, you can. I'm always open up to requests for songs to sing, but I do have another channel where I actually do a cappella covers that are not lullabies. So that is also in the description below, so feel free to check it out. Am I married and do I have kids? No, I am not married. I am engaged. I have a ring. And I do not have kids, and I do not want kids. Ever. I have nothing against kids, and I will say, you know, I'm not going to say never, but the likeliness that I will ever change my mind in wanting kids is extremely, extremely rare. I just do not want kids. I've never wanted kids. I have no desire to have kids, and I just don't think it's going to happen. And I do feel guilty about it since I am an only child and I don't have any step siblings or anything. My parents would not get a grandchildren that way, but I can't put myself in a position to have something that I never wanted in the first place just to benefit other people. That's not fair to the child. So yeah, no kids for me. My fiance also wants kids, but I do not. And then, am I in college? No, I am not. I went straight to college after I graduated high school. You can hear my cat. I went straight to college after I graduated high school, but I wound up dropping out for several different reasons. I did eventually go back and I went to community college to get my associate's degree in liberal arts, which I did get. I do still want to get a bachelor's degree. I just haven't quite figured out what I'm doing yet. I know that there's a school in Los Angeles that I'd like to go to. I would definitely get a bachelor's in some form of music degree. I have to make the steps towards doing that, and I just haven't done that yet. So eventually I would like to get my bachelor's. Fingers crossed it'll be somewhat soon. We shall see. But yeah, that is the last question. So I want to take this time to say thank you to all of you that submitted your questions for me. It's kind of nice that this worked out the way that it did, because I also just recently hit 3,000 subscribers. So welcome to all of the newcomers, and thank you to all of the people that have stuck with me throughout this entire year. I've loved every minute of it, and I would not be here if it weren't for you guys. I might still make videos even if you weren't here, but it really does make it worthwhile when you are so encouraging and you comment on my videos and leave me questions or, requests and stuff. It really does mean a lot to me. So I will see you in the next video, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. Bye-bye.